Toxic Legacy: How Sewage Sludge is Contaminating America's Farmlands. The pastoral ideal of American agriculture is facing an existential threat, not from drought or pestilence, but from an invisible adversary that has been unwittingly spread for decades: toxic chemicals known as PFAS, hidden within the very substance meant to nourish the soil. These forever chemicals, so dubbed for their persistent nature, are the unforeseen byproduct of a well-intentioned recycling effort that could now be poisoning millions of acres of American farmland. PFAS, per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, have been hailed for their resistance to heat, water, and oil, making them popular in consumer products and industrial applications. However, their beneficial properties conceal a dark side: indestructibility in the environment and the human body, with links to numerous health issues such as cancer, birth defects, and developmental delays. Farmers, once grateful for the free or low-cost fertilizer in the form of treated municipal sewage sludge, are now fearful as evidence mounts against its safety. In Texas, the tragedy unfolds with heartbreaking anecdotes of livestock deaths and polluted water sources. The Coleman's Ranch is just one of the many casualties caught in the crossfire of this burgeoning environmental crisis. But the repercussions extend far beyond individual farms. The collective cost of this creeping pollution is beginning to surface in lawsuits aimed at fertilizer providers and agitations directed at the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, for its regulatory shortcomings. While the EPA has fervently promoted the use of treated sewage as fertilizer, it has yet to take decisive action to address PFAS contamination. Amidst this storm of emerging data, some states have initiated their own countermeasures. Maine, displaying proactive leadership, has outlawed the use of sewage sludge on agricultural fields and established a systematic testing protocol to identify contamination. Michigan, on the other hand, has opted for a more cautious approach, limiting testing to steer clear of potential economic fallout for farmers. The scenario calls to question the historical practices of the EPA, which had sanctioned the repurposing of sewage sludge without full knowledge of its contents, ironically, in the name of environmental protection. As this crisis deepens, it's not only the farming communities that are watching with bated breath, but all consumers who depend on the safety and integrity of the food system. The use of sewage sludge in landscaping, forest land, and even the filling of old mines points to a pervasive yet poorly charted distribution of PFAS. Considered against the EPA's recent pronouncements of zero tolerance for PFAS in drinking water, the situation seems paradoxical at best and negligent at worst. Indeed, sewage sludge is a double-edged sword. Rich in essential nutrients, it has helped mitigate the use of chemical fertilizers and reduced waste headed to landfills. But this convenience came with a hidden cost: dispersing a cocktail of modern chemistry, including PFAS, into the biosphere. The farming community now sits precariously on the edge, confronted with the duality of a substance that both fuels growth and sows the seeds of potential devastation. As scientific exploration uncovers more evidence, regulatory bodies, industries, and communities must confront the mounting crisis and pivot towards solutions that safeguard health, environment, and livelihoods. Thank you for choosing Satori News.